Yeah. Don't joke around too much.
Let me know.
Okay.
Len, can you hear me? Thumbs up, Len. All right. We had some technical difficulties.
Okay, Jen, will you do roll call?
Shelley Fayant, Anita Matt,
Present.
Charmel Gillen,
Una.
Carol Langford, Len Tootieth,
Here.
Bing Matt.
Here.
Ellie Bundy, Martin Charlo,
Present.
Mike Dolson,
I'm here.
James Steele, Senior.
Charmel, can you lead us in a prayer, please?
Madam Chair, I would appreciate if you would ask Mike maybe or Bing. I'm just pulling off of the road. Thank you.
Mike, can you lead us in prayer, please?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Creator, you're all powerful, all knowing, and all loving way. Please bless this group today and always. We are thankful for the nutrition you give us all the time, for the health that we have. Please keep everybody that's fighting the COVID in your heart and mind, and thankful for the things that you give us that is essential to our lives. We ask all this in your name, and please be thoughtful of the family and community of Earl person today. He was a great leader. Thank you and amen.
Thank you, Mike. We have a set of minutes from October 12th.
Motion to approve the minutes with corrections.
Thank you, Lynn. Abby, before we go there, there's a couple things when we were reporting on the schools, the council met with Lake County School Board in Sanders County. I think it was the Ronan School Board and the Polson School Board and the Hot Springs School Board. Motion by Lynn. Second by Martin. Are there any other corrections? Charmel?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would just request Abby on page 2, just to maybe remove the, from it sounded like all the dialogue was similar to the end of conversation with school boards, those first couple of sentences, please. Thank you.
Okay, all those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous, motion carries. Got the agenda. There's no walk-ins. Are there any additions? Martin?
I'll have an addition in open, please.
I have an issue that I want to discuss with council and executive.
Are there any other additions by council updates? If not, I'd look for a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Motion by Martin, second by Ellie. All those in favor? Motion approved. Okay, and I see Velda's on. Good morning, Velda. And hers.
Lisa Kootenai. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Velda's presentation starts on page 4 through 6.
So we're back today with the letter to submit for the EDA Build Back Better Regional Grant Challenge. We did get a chance to meet with SKC. Dan Durglow submitted his input on what SKC envisions for this type of grant. And so we'd like your approval. If there's anything in there you'd like to discuss. We also invited Nicole Rush. She just came from the Missoula Economic Partnerships annual meeting that we had this morning, and they put out some really solid information on workforce, labor force, and employment information for the Missoula area that will be of interest to us as well. So did everybody get a chance to see the letter?
To approve the letter of support. Motion by Martin,
Second,
second by Lynn. All those in favor? Unanimous. Motion approved. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you for your time. You all have a nice day. Jennifer will be in touch.
Thank you, Velda.
Nicole.
You have a nice day. And Nicole, thank you for joining us.
Madam
now.
Chair,
Go ahead.
can Dan ask for a request really quick?
Sure. Good morning, Dan.
Good morning, Madam Chair, council members. So just wanted to touch base with the council. I believe Lisa Shorts, the Director of Administration, had reached out to the council yesterday about a groundbreaking and busing at the Ronan Health Clinic next Wednesday, I believe, at 1 o'clock. And so we just wanted to touch base with the council to see if the council would like to invite officials from the Montana Department of Transportation, Federal Highways, and the City of Ronan. If they'd like to, if you guys would like to invite any of their officials to the groundbreaking. So that's the question that we wanted to run by you.
It's really great.
Okay.
Yeah, you bet.
I'll work with Lisa and Rob and get the invite out and hope to see some officials there next week. So
Martin and then Charmel.
I would assume that, thank you, Madam Chair. Dan, thank you for coming in. I would assume that it'd be okay for me to invite the Lake County Commissioners.
definitely, yeah,
I'm meeting with one of them today, and so I'll extend the invitation.
sure, that'd be great.
Thank you.
Councilman Charlotte, yeah, thank you. Do you want Rob to reach out to them as well, or you just want to do that?
I don't think it would hurt to have an official
Okay.
kind of invitation for the
Yeah.
entire, I'll just be meeting individually with one of them. So to ensure all three of them get it, I think that'd be good. For
Okay, yeah, I'll have Rob put out the request on behalf of the council.
Thank
So,
you.
Okay. And that was all I had, Madam Chair. Pending
Thank
any
you,
other
Dan.
questions? Thank you.
Did you have something?
I did, Madam Chair. Thank you. Yeah, I was going to make that same suggestion, an official invite to the commissioners, but also the City of Ronan.
Okay, yeah,
I think that would be good.
Yeah.
And I don't know, Lisa might have other ideas, I'm sure, but I appreciate you guys putting that together. I think it's going to be a good thing to do that.
yeah, it's been a long time coming, I know, for a lot of the folks on the council. So yeah, it's
Absolutely.
definitely something to look forward to.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
Yep, have a good day.
Have a good day.
You too.
Madam Chair. Janet has a question she wanted to ask you guys as well.
Go ahead, Janet.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Missoula County Commissioners, if it works for in your schedule, they want to reschedule that meeting that was going to be tomorrow. They'd like to reschedule that to December 21st at 3 o'clock. And it would be virtual with council. That's a council day. I know it's Christmas week, but that's the only time they have available within the next 2 months.
December 21st at 1 o'clock.
No, 3 o'clock.
Oh, okay, 3 o'clock. Okay. Okay, thank you, Janet. And you'll contact them?
Yes, so that's confirmed then?
Do we have any other thing planned, Jennifer? As far as you, yeah, that looks good, Janet. We'll work
Okay.
around it.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You as well. I don't see Jody on.
Vice Chair Matt.
Oh, go ahead, Martin.
I think that it's kind of gotten lumped in twice with Janet and Velda's information. I have a letter of support that the Big Sky Passenger Rail Authority, I'm putting their information up on the screen. They're requesting a letter of support, very similar. It's part of the Build Back Better plan or program through the President's office. They are looking to the possibility of starting the southern route or across Montana, which has been, as you can see, offline for 42 years as a passenger authority. It used to go through Missoula. This would run through the Dixon site into west into Idaho, eventually connecting into Spokane. And so this is something that I've been part of for the last almost a year now, I believe. And so it's something that, whoa. Everyone's muted. Lynn or Abby, can you hear us? We had some real technical difficulties.
I can hear you now, but I couldn't before.
Did you hear all that feedback or was that just in here?
No, it was all feedback.
Okay. Well,
Can live Bing here.
Bing, can you hear us?
Sure can.
I can hear you now.
Yeah, I hear you, Martin.
Okay, thank you guys. Yeah, something happened here. I'll continue quickly with the request. Again, the Big Sky Passenger Rail Authority, this request is actually through Missoula County. Is where the funding will be sent. This is for very similar to the other requests from SKC, or I'm sorry, from our economic development with SKC, University of Montana, but these are completely different areas that they're requesting. This is more of a transportation. The one that we just approved is more of a kind of an economic infrastructure type thing. So the letter, it was on page 2, I believe. Just real simple, asking for support for to submit this application, or supporting their submission of this application. So with that, I will take questions, and that is all.
Are there any questions for Martin by council?
No questions. Respectfully ask for a motion to approve.
Do you have a motion to approve the letter of support?
Motion.
Ellie's got a question first, Lynn, and then we'll. Go
I was
ahead.
actually making the motion, Madam Chair, but I'll second Lynn's motion.
Okay. Motion by Lynn, second by Ellie. All those in favor? Carried. Thank you, Martin.
Thank you, guys.
Jody is on. Good morning, Jody. Kyle, Colleen.
Good morning. So we have some resolutions that we will be presenting today. And let's see, it looks like page 7 is where they start. Oh, page 8 is the first resolution. And this is a requirement for fiscal, let's see, fiscal year 2021 Indian Community Development Block Grant application. And with this block grant, we would like to build more units on the vacant Maggie Ashley Trailer Park lots. And so with our ICDBG ARP funds, we applied for I believe it was 6 one-bedroom rental units at the vacant lots. So this one would be able to build 7 additional. So we would have a total development of 13 new one-bedroom units at Maggie Ashley. And when we reviewed the need, there were 44 people on the Pablo waiting list for that would fit into one-bedroom unit. And so that was the highest need. It fit the lot, the infrastructure is already there. This is going to be less complicated of a project. And so the first resolution is to allow us to prepare and submit on behalf of the tribes. And it is for 1.2 million. Do you want me to keep going, or did you guys want to pause there?
I was just asking for questions, Jody. We should do them one at a time.
Okay.
Madam Chair, I'd make the motion to approve the of the fiscal year 2021 ICDBG grant application, please. Or it's not grant, yeah, it is a grant application. Thank you.
A motion by Martin. Second by Ellie. All those in favor? Carries.
Okay, and it is FY 2021. They just put it out, and so I think HUD might be slightly behind. And then the next resolution is the certifying citizen participation requirement. So the grant application requires us to solicit for public comment. And that public comment request was sent out yesterday afternoon through our tribal email system.
For a motion to approve the resolution certifying citizen participation. Motion by Martin. Second by Ellie. All those in favor? Unanimous. Motion carries.
Thank you. And then the next one is authorizing the Salish and Kootenai Housing Authority as a community-based development organization. This certification comes from the HUD ONAP office in Denver. They're the ones that we're in their region, and it is a requirement for the ICDBG. It was waived during the ARP period, but in order to do new development with this grant, we have to be a certified community-based development organization, and it requires council approval.
Carmel has a question.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Jody, is that the extent of the certification, or is there other stuff that you have to do to be certified at that?
Our grant writer has been working with Colleen on the requirements, so Colleen would be able to better answer that question.
Portion that you'll need from the tribal council, and we will assume that the other points of certification are going to be completed or have been.
This was step one.
By Charmel, to approve the resolution designating the Salish Kootenai Housing Authority as a community-based development organization. Second by Martin. All those in favor? Ellen? Unanimous. Motion carries.
Thank you. And then the final resolution is certifying our citizen participation for the ICDBG ARP. And we did go through that comment period, and Kyle received comments that he has summarized, and we will do responses. And he said there was a lot of good comments. I believe we received 7 responses to our comment period, which is pretty successful based on our historic public meetings where there wasn't as much interest. So I hope that the great ideas keep being shared.
Are there any questions for Kyle or?
What was that?
Martin? Okay, motion by Martin. Second by Charmel. All those in favor? Unanimous. Motion carries.
Okay, that's all we had for today. Thank you very much for your time and your support, and we'll keep moving forward.
Thank you, Jody. Thanks, Kyle. Thanks, Colleen. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Go ahead, Jen.
I had another change. Major Robinson and Molly could not be on until 10. So I asked Brenda Ritchie to log on for her presentation on pages 14 to 20.
Thank you, Jen. Good morning, Brenda.
Good morning, Hesquext Council. Thank you so much for letting me pop in so quickly this morning. I appreciate it and hope all of you are well. Going to share my screen. My request for council today is requesting a letter of support for our new teen mental health grant. We have been awarded the grant. We are sending the questionnaire that we ask of the teens through SKC IRB. We have been through the MSU IRB and have passed that. SKC IRB notified me this week that they would like to have an updated letter of support. And so totally fine, great. That's why I'm here this morning. So in your packet, page 14 is just my email to Jennifer asking if I could do a Zoom walk-in today. Page 15, 16, 17, and 18 and 19 for you guys is the original request that I came in with Renee Kittle, who was the extension agent at the time, back in 2017 when we started this project. This has been an annual project. We've continued to teach. Myself, I have continued to teach this curriculum, YAM, which is Youth Aware of Mental Health. I am a certified instructor for that. We have been teaching this in Ronan schools for the high school for the last 5 years and for the last 2 years in the Mission High School. This school year, I am excited to report that Polson High School has offered to let us come in as well. So we are expanding, and I'm excited to have the funding that we received so that we could continue to do that. So I wanted to show you the original letter of support, as well as on page 20 is a new block letter of support that we sent out to the schools for our grant. Wanted to offer that to council. Sometimes I know it's hard just to sit down and think about what you want to say in a letter of support. So wanted to offer what we did give to the schools, and they dropped that onto letterhead, signed it, and sent it back. So that's the information. That's my request for this morning. I'm more than happy to answer any questions about the grant or about the curriculum that I can for council this morning.
So I do have a question. You're expanding out. What kind of curriculum are you working with, Brenda?
The curriculum that we're using is Youth Aware of Mental Health. That is a research-based curriculum that comes from Sweden. Currently, Montana State University is the only university in the United States that has the rights to use it. I attended a week-long training in order to become certified. It has been looked at from an Indigenous perspective prior to me coming on. I came on in year 2 of the project, and I've been here for 5 years. They worked with the Blackfeet and had 2 gentlemen from that area that made sure that it was indigenously respectful and culturally appropriate, as well as, like I said, we are sending it through the SKC IRB to confirm that we're appropriate for our area as well. Oh, thank you. Whoever did that, thank you. This is the program in short. It's based on 5 class periods that I meet with the students. There is a pre-survey and a post-survey. And that is part of the SKC IRB review as well. And in the first session, the difference that I like to explain when I get to present YAM as a whole is that YAM is suicide prevention, in that our entire goal of the curriculum is to teach mental health awareness. So this is not SOS, this is not QPR, this is not mental health first aid curriculum. This is literally working with teenagers and helping them identify stressful situations and what their responses to those situations might be. What are they right now? This is an open forum. We do role plays with the youth. For example, one of the role plays might be, my mom and dad are fighting and I just can't stand it. What can I do? Fairly simple, fairly straightforward, that can cause anxiety and stress for our young people. And then working with them in their groups of peers, because we understand that the peers often know when there's going to be a stressor or a crisis before the adults can know. So empowering our youth to find their voice and to say, I recognize what I'm feeling, and here's where I can go with that and what I can do. Connecting them to not only school resources for mental health, but local and tribal resources as well.
Brenda, one other question. You mentioned the schools that you're presently working with, and it was Polson, am I right?
For the last 5 years, I've been teaching in the Ronan High School freshman PE and health class. And then for the last 2 years, we've been down at the Mission School District. During, I think last year, they actually had us in a health/history geography class time period. This year is our first year with Polson. So we have not started any work yet because we are waiting for IRB approval. So Polson will be new for us. I did send out a letter of invitation to participate to our Lee High School, and I have not heard back from them.
Go ahead, Martin.
Thank you. Thanks, Brenda, for bringing this forward. I think that kind of looking at this program, I know that that's been peer-to-peer support is critical in young people's lives, and yeah, I thank my son's friends for being good peers and letting us know if he was ever struggling or anything like that. And so really, especially now, mental health is of the utmost importance, because I think the last year or two have been very hard for a lot of people, especially younger people that are a lot more social and they need that interaction. And so I think this would be a good getting back into the schools, assist with the issues they're having and really just identifying them and coping. I mean, the coping part is the huge part. I mean, you know, I'll don't cope with things well. And I'm not sure why. I have a young adult that I helped raise, and I'm not sure why. And I try to work with him on those type of things, and hopefully, you know, giving him more skills to deal with this when things are tough. And it's hard. You know, we have to remind ourselves of that every day of how, you know, we got to be thankful for the simplest things. So thank you, Brenda, for, you know, tackling this and bringing it here, and hopefully it'll be something that works well and we can continue to build on. So with that, I'll make the motion to support.
Martin? Second by Charmel. All those in favor? Unanimous. Thank you, Brendan. One of these days, maybe you can come in and give us a presentation.
I would love to. May I speak for just a few more seconds, or do I need to go?
No, go right ahead.
I just wanted to follow up and thank you to Councilman Charlo for that support and those words, because it is absolutely and critical information. Teen mental health is one of my personal and professional passions. That is where I feel a calling to. And so we do have this training available for our teens. I wanted to let council know that I am also a certified instructor for mental health first aid, both for adults who work with adults and adults who work with youth. And so we do offer that curriculum here through the office and that training. And I'm also getting prepared to be a certified instructor for QPR. So I want council and my community to know that there are resources here through the office that are available as you choose to use them. And we'll try to make that better known if that hasn't been known. But also to follow up with Councilman Charlo is that we have received in this last month the current mental health report for the state of Montana, and where our teens are concerned because of what we've experienced in the pandemic in the last 18 months, 2 years. We have seen statistically that it's not just a personal opinion, statistics show that there is a rise in crisis, depression, and suicidality. So it's even more important now, and as we move forward, we don't know exactly where this COVID or the variants are going to go, that we continue to find ways of supporting our teens and helping them understand that it's okay to have feelings, even the bad feelings, but this is our coping skill for it. And these are your safe people and your safe places, and your schools support you, your family support you, your community and your culture support you. So however I can be of service to make that happen or open a door for it to happen for all of our youth is just really important to me personally. So thank you for the extra few minutes. I wanted council to know where I stood personally, but also professionally, that there are resources available.
Thank you, Brenda. We appreciate that and your dedication. You know, one of the things that they were talking about on the news that could be a real stressor too is the kids being behind 1.5 years with the distance learning. I mean, that's got to be awful stressful. And
Absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah. So I'm hoping that'll be a part of that as well. Just someone to talk to, and they're struggling. So
Yeah, absolutely. And we want to make sure that that information is out there, easily accessible. One of the things that I think is so important is that there is a Montana and a national teen text line. So some of our teenagers don't want to talk on the phone. They're this digital age. And so there is a teen text hotline that we promote in class. And I allow the youth, if they choose to take their phones out and put that number in their phone, so that whether they're on their own or with a peer, at any moment, they can have access to somebody who can help them navigate a difficult situation. Sorry, I could talk forever about this. It's that important.
Great, thank you, thank you. I'm glad we got it out there, and if there's any other resource we have with Rob or someone to get that services out there to the public. So I appreciate everything, Brenda, and the job you're doing. Is there anything else for Brenda? Oh, go ahead, Martin.
Thank you. Brenda, would you mind sharing is that just the teen line online.org?
Sure, I don't have it sitting in front of me. Can I email it to you? Do you just want it, or would you like me to email all of you? I could send it to Jennifer.
You can just send it to council.org. I was just gonna
Okay.
share it while you were
I
on.
apologize.
No worries. Thank you.
Thank you so
Brenda.
much.
I
Lim Lim.
look forward to getting that. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
And then we're a little bit ahead. We're gonna go ahead with the Bison Range update and information with Tom and Brian and Steph. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming on early. Oh, good morning, Lester.
Good morning. We have, I think, 3 items we want to cover with you if we can. Whispers on to talk about our capture event last week and how that went. Give you a summarized report of that. Brian wanted to talk briefly about the equipment and personal items transfer that we're working on. There's a couple of items we want council direction on to potentially add to that list. And then the follow-up that we want to do on just recapping where our current situation is on the goal to take over full operations come January 1st of 2022. And we'll let Brian lead the charge on that. So with that, I'll turn it over to Brian.
Thank you, Tom. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning, Vice Chairwoman, and thanks, Tom. I'd actually like to discuss some of this in executive session if we could. And Tom, I'll just clarify with you. Do you want to have any updates before we go into executive?
I don't think that's necessary, which we do everything in executive if we'd like to.
Okay.
I do the Bison capture update for everyone? Or do you want that in executive?
That could be an open session for sure.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and go with Whisper and the Bison update, capture update, and then we can go into the other executives.
Okay,
Whisper.
thanks. And I hope you all on council got our invite to attend. It went very well with the Bison capture. The staff were a mix of the Fish and Wildlife Service, CSKT Biological, and volunteers that came from different refuges as well as local people that have been working for many years out there. Sherry McBurney was on site, and Pete White and a couple other people came out to help for the tribes. We had a low stress bison handling orientation before we started on Monday. And I think that people got a lot of useful information out of that on how to keep things really mellow and work with how the animals move and react to people so that we didn't have to get things too riled up. We had no injuries of bison. We had no injuries of people. We worked 276 bison. They all were in excellent to very good condition. We were able to surplus 29 bison is what we ended up with, 5 of which will be sent to the Rocky Boy Reservation for our donation to them for their herd. And then the other bison were sold in our closed bid auction. And so we did well there. We have just a couple more that need to be picked up and things are looking really great. Everybody worked really well together. It was really just a really positive event, and we're happy with how things turned out. Anybody have any questions on it?
Is there any questions? So what is the capacity with the bison? I know that with the drought and everything, there are probably some concerns about having adequate capacity with the feed.
Yep, and I think that we were projecting that we were a little over 300 bison at this point. We worked the majority of them with 276, and the service staff had indicated that the range looked pretty hard hit with the high temperatures, the drought, you know, just everything that you mentioned. But when they did come in, their body conditions were really good. And so we think that we're doing okay with what we have right now. The weeds are an issue that we'll have to work on in the future, and the competition from some of the other species that maybe have too high of populations out there, mainly the elk. And so we will try to get that in balance as the time goes on so that we make sure that we have a healthy condition and a healthy range to keep the animals there and open to public viewing. And not supplemental feeding. I mean, the whole goal out there is to be wild and to have the range so that it supports itself. So we don't want to be putting hay bales out. We want to try to have the forage there.
Thank you, Whisper. Any other questions? Yeah, I'm glad that it went well. Seen a few pictures here and there, but
Great, thanks.
all right, thank you, Whisper.
Madam Vice Chair, if we could go into executive, we could go into the